Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be making shaker style cabinet doors using floating tenons. I first saw this method of construction on Peter Millard's channel. I'll put a link to his channel in the description if you're interested. Otherwise, if you haven't, please subscribe, like and comment. That'd be appreciated. First thing I'm going to do is true up the rails and the stiles. The customer wanted them to be 2.5 inches wide, so I'm going to run them all through the tail saw. For this project, I'm using S4S 3/4 inch poplar for the rails and the stiles. Next, we're going to go to the router table. I'm using this 1/4 inch router slot bit to make the grooves on all the rails and the stiles. When working with router tables, it's essential that you mark the top and bottom of your workpiece and then be consistent throughout the build. If you don't want to cut the groove in one pass, you can use spacers on the left and right hand side like I'm doing here. The spacers will allow you to make a shallow groove cut, and then you take the spacers off to complete the groove cut. With all the grooves done lengthwise on the rails and the stiles, we're going to take them to the miter saw and cut them to size. Just making sure my miter saw is set up and accurate before I make all the cuts. First, I'm going to square up all the ends of the rails and the stiles. With the ends squared up, I'm going to again cut the rails and stiles to size 2 at a time. With everything cut to size, we're going to take the rails to the router table and do the final groove cut. For this, I'm using a quick homemade jig to keep everything square and avoid blowouts. The insert on the cabinet doors will be a 1/4 inch MDF, and the floating tenons or loose tenons were made out of poplar, and they're just less than 1/4 inch thick. Doing a dry fit to make sure everything fits as expected before we start the glue up process. Just making sure everything is square before the glue dries, so if you want to make any adjustments, now's the time. The final part on these doors is the sanding. The customer is going to paint it and install it themselves. Once the initial sanding is done, I'm going to come back with a wet rag and wipe off the rails and stiles, and that's going to raise the grain a little bit, and then come back and do a final sanding. We are a small channel, so any help you can provide is appreciated. So if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel.